Gary, what a special win, down 2-0 late like that, and get 3 goals in the final whatever minutes to win it.
Yeah, it was a great response from the team. They stuck with it. I thought, it was a funny game. I actually liked our first period. To say that being down 2-0, you don't hear many coaches say that, but we just made 2 boneheaded mistakes, and they're a veteran team. They capitalized on it. But I thought we did a lot of good things. And in the second period, you got to tip your hat to Peoria. They just won a lot more races. They won a lot more battles. They won a lot more face-offs. And we were just chasing the puck the whole period, just holding on for dear life. Thank God Dinger played a great game. He really gave us a chance. I really thought he should have been a number 1 star, because without him making some big saves in the second period, that thing gets down 3-0. It's a different game. It could be curtains, and we could have lost all hope, basically. So to get out of that second period just down 2, we talked about, we were the better team. We felt we were the better team. We just had to go out there and start playing with some confidence. They took our confidence away from us in the second period. We had to refine it, and we needed some lines to get going, because frankly, nobody was going in the second period. In the line, I thought Zapata, Herman, and Galka, they were the catalyst. I mean, they really got us going. And, that line generated basically both those even strength goals, with Leitner being a deal on the one line. So, and then the power play coming through when we needed the most. We had a hard time drawing power plays tonight, because, frankly, we were pretty perimeter. And if you're perimeter, you're not going to draw a lot of hooks and holds and going to the net hard. That's where a lot of times you draw your power plays. And, we just couldn't draw them. And so it was hard, because we got a lot of faith in our power play. And great job there by getting a draw, number 1, on the game-winning goal. And then, Zach trying to just find a shot lane. And then, of course, Dally, right spot, right time, and burying it. What a big goal for him.
Gary, I want to ask you about Sean's goal, because really it's 2-0. The arena's kind of in a lull. Nothing really going on. Puck's loose. He just chips it in, and boom, just like that, the lead's in half, and the energy started back in the building. What did you see there with Sean and that goal? Because that gave some energy, I thought.
Well, like I said, that line was huge. I mean, they played bull in a china shop hockey. They were there because it's a bigger line for us, for our team. And 2 of our biggest wingers on that line was Zaps, was over 7 feet. And they won their wall battles, and they got a puck to the net, and they won a battle in front of the net. I didn't like the fact that even though we were generating some offense in the first period, I felt like we just didn't have the traffic around the net front to have against a bigger Peoria team. Like, you got to get nuts and bolts into the paint, and we finally talked about that at the second period. We're not going to start scoring it unless we start buying into having bodies around the net constantly and throwing pucks there from all angles, and they did it.
And then obviously, you touched on this last night. They had to delay a game penalty with 2:51 left to give you guys a power play, and again, that was a big moment. That penalty getting you on the power play, and then Dallas obviously burying that shot. But man, like you said last night, you waited. They made a penalty. They got in the penalty box, and you guys capitalized just like you did last night.
Well, there's always moments in the game, that are those defining moments that you're waiting for, maybe a little bit of luck from the old man upstairs, and he gave it to us when Wilkie shot that puck out, and we're like, hey, we just tied this thing up. Let's just go win the thing. Let's just relax. We got confidence in our power play. We work on all the time in practice, and we had a good power play meeting before the game, talking about some things that we felt that could be open, and the guys did a great job.
You stayed unbeaten at home, and I just wonder, this one tonight, being down 2-0 with, a lot of lull in the building, and then all of a sudden 3 goals to win it, the way you won it, how it ended, little scrum there at the end, fans are into it. It had to be really satisfying leaving the ice tonight with that, beating that team but back-to-back nights.
Yeah, I mean, anytime your group can show resiliency, you're ultimately trying to. Every game is part of the process the whole season, like getting them to just believe and trust in each other. And even though we were terrible in the second period, one of the worst periods we played the whole season, honestly, we were able to find our game in the third and trust each other. And again, that's just kudos to the group. I mean, really, all the credit goes to the guys. They found a way.
Talk about Dinger. He had some really great saves in the third period and stuff. I mean, he came up big because it could have been 6-2 by the time those 3 saves were made.
I mean, he was, like I said, to me, he was the first star. You know, he bailed us out when we needed him to, and that's what you need your goalie to do. And I thought, especially in the second period, I thought the saves he made in the second period were even better.
Well, Gary, how nice is it to, again, you won't play back here again till December 23rd, but to be 8-0 at home, that's got to be pretty good for you.
You know, we're confident in this building, but we don't honestly even talk about that stuff around here. We don't talk about it. We haven't talked about the standings. Honestly, I just tell the guys really that this first third of the season, we're just trying to get our identity, trying to get guys going. For me, trying to figure out, you know, who's going to be playing with who and what works, you know. And, you know, we got 2 very good players that were out of the lineup, and Jason Dobay and Troy Button, 2D that are very capable guys. And, you know, so, you know, we have Derek McCrones that came off the IR that's not playing a lot right now, but, you know, he's going to start seeing some more action. We got a lot of confidence in him. So, you know what, I like where we're at with our depth, and most importantly, it's the character of the group. I think that's the fun thing to watch.
About 7 minutes left. I think there was a stoppage in play. You were pretty upset about something. Did you think there was a penalty there? Or?
Yeah.
There
was something dirty that happened.
Okay.
But you know, the ref again in this league, I try not to get too mad at refs because there's only one ref out there. And in this series, there was a lot of stuff going on from both sides. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
It seems like every time, you know, you play a team like Peoria and stuff like that, the physical stuff. But sometimes it's the chippy stuff and stuff that really try to draw you in. What do you try to tell the guys, you know, to try to forget some of that stuff that they do?
Well, we did a really good job last night. And tonight in the second period, we did a bad job. And that cost us because they got their game going. They had the coach's son, you know, fight our tough guy. That's a big moment. You know, he's a young kid on the team. He's the youngest kid on their team. Here's the coach's son fighting our toughest guy. You know, really sparked their team. You could see it. You know what I'm saying? And they just fed off of that because, you know, after a good team like Peoria lost and gave up 7 goals, they had a chip on their shoulder. They came in ready to play, and just like you would expect a good team to do, and they're very well coached. So, you know, I thought that was a big moment for them, and that was a big spark. And like I said, thank God Dinger was up for the test because that spark really generated a lot of momentum from there on the rest of that period, and we got the saves we needed to get ourselves just down 2-0 and able to crawl back into the game.
And say what sparked you guys was in the middle of the third with a little scrimmage in front of your bench and stuff with Johnson. I think that really, you know, the guys said, "Hey, this is it. You got to turn it up a bit." So,
yeah, you know, we're a team that's still, I think, we want to be a team that can handle those situations, but sometimes I feel like if we get too emotional, myself included, we don't play well. And that's the thing too. For me as a coach, you always got to figure out how to make your group go and what they respond to and what they don't respond to. I'm still learning that. I think the group's learning from each other that too as well. You know, I think the more cool and calm that we present ourselves, you know, with myself being the leader on down, right, is usually we handle adversity better. So just trying to ride those highs and lows, make sure we're not getting too high or too low.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Gary,
back here. Hopefully I can feed this gold back to him.